This is the brand new LG QNED Mini LED 86, and guys, it is glorious. Let's ramble.
Hold up, place go wild when I pull up. They all on me like it wants.
Hey, what is up guys? It's great to see you all again, and if you're new here, I'm Patrick, and this is where I ramble about tech and other stuff. So over the last couple of years, I've become more and more interested in TVs for various reasons. Like in the past, as long as it had a big screen, I'd be happy. But these days, there's a lot more to it, and finding the right TV is important to me. One, because I'm a tech head, and technology used in these things has been making huge leaps, and I'm interested in that. And two, because our little family has been expanding, and the TV has become a centerpiece in our living room that we all like to use together. Whether it's binge watching TV shows with Patty, playing video games with my 8-year-old daughter, or having the twins force us to watch baby TV with them. The TV gets a lot of mileage in our house. So obviously, there's a couple of things I look for in a TV. It needs to be big enough for the whole family to enjoy. It needs to have plenty of ports available to hook up all of the consoles and the devices, and of course it needs to have top-of-the-line image quality. The QNED Mini LED 86 ticks all of those boxes. So when LG reached out to me to review this thing for you guys, it was an absolute no-brainer. So let's have a look at all the things it brings to the table. First of all, it's definitely big enough. This is the 75-inch model, and if you're looking into getting one of these for yourself, I highly recommend you have it delivered straight to your house. I was naive enough to have it delivered to my studio, and that was not a good idea because this thing really is massive. There was no way I was gonna get this box in my car, so I had to actually unbox it in the studio so the TV would just about fit in my car. Also, make sure you have someone with you because this is definitely a two-person job. Thankfully, the installation process was a lot easier. It's basically plug and play. WebOS has come a long way, and it's really straightforward and easy to navigate these days. There's a bunch of useful features built in, like quick cards, which helps you navigate features for every single category. And there are some really cool features there. Take this home office card, for instance. This basically turns your TV into a usable PC. All you need to do is hook up a keyboard and a mouse, and you're off to the races. There's also considerably less bloatware on it, which is always a good thing. In terms of apps, all the usual suspects are present within WebOS and well represented directly on the LG Magic Remote, which is what I've been using to navigate the menu. The pointer and the scroll wheel take a bit of getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually a lot of fun to use. And if you feel there's apps missing, you can go ahead and download some more. One more feature I really wanted to show you guys is the AI Picture Wizard. It can be hard sometimes to find the ideal picture settings, and if you're anything like me, you could be tinkering with the settings forever. The AI Picture Wizard takes a lot of that work out of our hands. It will basically show you a bunch of pictures and lets you choose the one that looked the best to you. And after that process is repeated a couple of times, the QNED TV will learn what you like and remember those settings. Now, before we talk about the actual image and some more interesting features, let's have a quick look at the design, which is sleek and minimal, just the way I like it. It's got this beautiful edge-to-edge display, super thin bezels, and because it is so thin, it fits in really well with any interior. You could easily mount it to the wall, but in our case, I don't really think that's necessary. I quite like our TV furniture here. It's made out of reclaimed beechwood, and I like the way the redesigned industrial-looking base of the QNED 86 looks on the wood. The base also comes with a clean cable management system to run all of your cables, which will disappear out of sight once you place the cover back onto it. The TV comes with plenty of ports, Ethernet, USB, etc. But more importantly in our household is that it comes with 4 HDMI ports, so we can hook up all of our devices without having to constantly unplug and replug stuff. It supports 120 Hz, which is of course great for gaming. And it offers eArc support, which I personally find very important. If you've been to my channel before, you know I'm an Apple guy. I love hooking up my Apple TV box and using my HomePods as speakers. eArc makes it possible to make that the default audio so that whatever content we watch on the actual TV or whatever device is hooked up to the TV, like our PlayStation 5, will be played through those speakers. Having said that, I must admit that the built-in 40-watt 2.2 channel speakers on the QNED 86 do actually sound pretty good. But yeah, to get that full cinema experience, I would always recommend external speakers for some extra oomph. Now, because I'm deep into the Apple ecosystem, I chose to use 2 HomePods as my stereo speaker combo, but this is obviously not the most conventional audio setup, nor is it the most cost-effective one, and I would highly recommend having a look at LG's soundbar options. You may have noticed that the QNED86 sits a bit raised on the base, which leaves the perfect amount of room to install one of their soundbars. Or if you want to take it that extra step, you could of course splurge on a full-blown home cinema setup. The QNED86 does have that Dolby Atmos on board. Now for the meat and potatoes, the actual display quality, this is what most of us will care about the most, and it will probably be the reason to invest into the LG QNED86 because the image quality, in my opinion, is where it really shines. Pun very much intended. QNED is the newest generation, the latest LCD technology with Quantum Dot and Nanocell, and it's basically the next step after QLED. It also has the newest generation Alpha 7 4K AI processor, the Gen 6, and the combination of those things is what delivers that beautiful, crispy image. The QNED86 has a mini LED display, and what that means is that there are tons of tiny LEDs lighting the panel that deliver a much brighter, much clearer image by controlling the light with extreme precision. By means of unique dimming zones, it can meticulously decide which parts of the screen are lit and which ones are dim, and that results in very, very deep blacks and very vivid colors. It also means that there's way less light leakage and therefore also considerably less blooming. Almost needless to say is that this is of course a 4K panel, but what is cool is that it also has the ability to upscale older content to look much, much better. Now, movies and TV shows obviously look amazing on this display, but the QNED86 is also a really solid gaming monitor, offering gameplay of up to 120 Hz in higher resolutions with HDMI 2.1 bandwidths. One of my favorite gaming features is the Game Optimizer, which is basically a one-stop shop for all the main game settings. So depending on the type of game you're playing, you can adjust it all right there. I love playing our PS5 on this thing. The games look absolutely phenomenal and super smooth. But even if you don't own a console, you can play games on this TV because the LG QNED86 provides access to online gaming services like Google Stadia or Nvidia's GeForce Now app. So in that case, all you need to do is get yourself a compatible controller and a case of Red Bull, and you should be fine for a couple of hours of uninterrupted gaming. So guys, let me know in the comments what you think of the QNED86. What are your favorite features? Personally, I'm really impressed by this model, especially considering the price. Great value for money, and do make sure to check that link in the description to check the current price in your area and if you want to learn a bit more about the LG QNED86. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it one of these. It really does help the channel. Subscribe for more content and stay tuned for some links to videos you might also want to watch.